Rather lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Aaron Ramsdale is sidelined and it could be very, very scary. A couple of weeks for him to be out. Mikel Arteta confirmed, and of course Sky have also confirmed. We're going to be looking at that story and the impact, and also the comments that Mikel Arteta has made on Emil Smith Pro, Martinelli, and the availability of course of those players that are actually out injured. So we're going to be looking at much of the press conference and the latest around the injury update on Aaron Ramsdale. Smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel as well. Now, to start off, lads, Sky have actually put out a story and they have confirmed that Ramsdale will not be representing England. Now, he was called up among together with three other teammates at Arsenal for English national duty. Smith Pro, Saka, Ben White, together with Aaron Ramsdale, were called up by Gareth Southgate to make sure that they represent England in the upcoming national friendlies. However, it looks like Ramsdale picked up an injury against Liverpool. In that game against Liverpool, actually, according to Mikel, he says the player was uncomfortable in the last few moments of the game, and when he was actually assessed and scanned, it was confirmed that he wouldn't actually take part in that game. The we beat Aston Villa 1-0, and it's going to take some weeks. Let's have a look. Right, so this is according to Sky, and they have said Arsenal goalkeeper out for weeks with a muscle injury. Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale will be out of action for the next few weeks with a muscle injury. The shotstopper will also miss England's upcoming friendlies against Switzerland on the 26th of March and Ivory Coast on the 29th, respectively. That is according to Sky Sport. Furthermore, what they've learned on the story, Mikel Arteta has confirmed with them that the keeper Ramsdale will be out of action for a couple of weeks with a muscle injury, meaning the 23-year-old will have to withdraw from the English squad. According to Mikel Arteta, Aaron Ramsdale has got an injury. He had an injury. He had an injury in his oblique muscle, and he will be out for weeks. Arteta said ahead of this. Ahead of the side's 1-0 Premier League win against Aston Villa. As a result, Ramsdale will sit out of England's upcoming friendlies against Switzerland and Ivory Coast on 26th and 29th March, respectively. Of course, this is much of context, right? So the biggest story, lads, weeks without Aaron Ramsdale, and I think. If you're an Arsenal fan and you followed us this season, you absolutely understand what this means. Look, today we played Aston Villa and we had Leno in goal, and it was a little bit low. He was brilliant, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, especially that last-minute save against Filippo Coutinho. I was scared to some extent. I thought, he might get it wrong, but he got it right. And look, personally, I don't have that kind of distrust and mistrust in Ban Leno. I've always felt he's a good shot stopper. My problem with him is playing out from the back. We missed Aaron Ramsdale still. So we are left with we played 28 games now. We are left with 10 games to the end of the campaign, and 5 of those 10 are away fixtures. And in there you have Spurs, United, and Chelsea. You have the likes of Crystal Palace that are also not very, very easy sides. So out of the last 10 games, you've got to believe that around 5 games are not that easy. Without your goalkeeper, without Aaron Ramsdale, especially Arsenal, and this is why we need to capitalize very well on the summer. At least every position, we need to have a player who understands the basics of what Mikel Arteta is teaching this, to this team, which is positional play. Honestly, Leno is a good goalkeeper. He's fine. But Arsenal build out from the back, and a goalkeeper, our goalkeeper must possess certain qualities. Leonard doesn't possess them, but Ramsdale does. I mean, at times, you've got to have that, very confident goalkeeper that is able to play out from the back, that confident goalkeeper that is able to receive the ball under pressure and also disseminate it very well despite the fact that he's under pressure. I think that is what Aaron Ramsdale does, and that is what he provides us with an Arsenal, the same as Ederson at City, the same as Alisson at Liverpool, and Marc-Andre Stegen at Barcelona, and a couple of other teams that play that 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, and positional play. So if we lack Ramsdale for weeks, it's a big scare. It's a huge scare. The question is, how fast can we have him back? Maybe before we play Chelsea and United, because in those two, we need him. I don't know whether he will come back in fine form. That's another huge question. But we desperately need him to be back, especially if we're going to play our own kind of football against United and Chelsea, like try to dominate them, try to dominate play, try to build up from the back, try to create overloads and superiorities in the game. Then we need Ramsdale to be there. It's a huge blow, huge blow. If you understand, if you understood today's game and you've been seeing how Arsenal have been are being impacted by Ramsdale being on the pitch, despite the fact that he's a good goalkeeper, but also playing out from the back, then you've seen that today we really missed him. But of course, as well, Mikel has been speaking to the media after the game. Obviously, these days he's really having live. And these are some of the comments he has actually made. Let's run through them here and there. On the win, he said, right, let me get this right. On the win, he said, it's a big win after the defeat against Liverpool, but the performance that we had, we wanted to come here and play well fast, which we did, and get 3 points because we want to keep the momentum going. And I think the team showed today a lot of personality to come and a lot of personality to come and play the way they played here, the way they dominated the game and come away with a win in the end. Cannot disagree and cannot agree more. I think it was a lot of personality, and it was a lot of courage, character. It's good psychological resilience. That is very good psychological resilience that we showed today. On how fit our players looked, he said, I told you that we would be ready. I cannot complain, or I can say what I think. It's fair or not. I will tell you what. I'll tell you that we will be ready. All right. Look, our players didn't look unfit. Unless otherwise that I didn't, take notes. Maybe Martin Odegaard. Odegaard needs some rotation, maybe. I think you guys have seen that. Odegaard and Saka. Saka played well. But, it's been a while now that... Because he's the most fouled Arsenal player. So it's been a while that every game he picks up a knock but come the next game is okay. Or we rush him to be back. I feel like Arsenal desperately need to give him time off. All right. On how it feels to win in front of away fans, well, he says that's what it gives, probably a sense of everything that we do. You realize it in those moments that those people have big emotions towards the club. And if we make them happy, and then everything just makes sense, and the connection that they show with the players and with me as well. We have to be very grateful because they have come on this journey, and I think they believe in what we do. Definitely very huge point there, from Mikel on how it feels for him personally to win away from home. It says personally it's great because you've been through a lot, and because we've been through a lot, and you said we played almost 2 years without crowds. To build something that, in my opinion, was the most important thing was unity around the club and a sense of direction and belonging. They were going to be really important, and they give us belief and energy. Right. So the fans up there that travel to the matches, big up to you lads, doing a great job. On other managers discussing our fixture schedule, he said, I give my opinion. I never comment on other managers' comments. I give my opinion. Just that. Yeah, he was, I think it was Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte that did make what I would prefer to call as, follow-ups on the comments of Mikel Arteta regarding our fixture schedule. I think it was Thomas Tuchel who said, look, no, it was Antonio Conte who said that Mikel shouldn't be talking about fair and unfair. So it literally meant that Arteta is literally crying for nothing. But Mikel says he won't make a comment, which is wise. On the mentality of the team, he has on the mentality of the team has to be now, and he says that we have 10 games to go, and what we did yesterday or today, now it's irrelevant. It's what we are going to do tomorrow, prepare how we are going to improve the team and play better, win more games, and especially more comfortably, because when you are so dominant like we were today, we have to score the second and third, and we we are not there yet. I think in terms of numbers, you need a striker to do that. In terms of Arsenal and dominating play and not getting the best out of these fixtures, I think it goes back to number 9. If we get a number 9, I feel like it will be better. On if Bukayo Saka picked up a knock, he said he was really fatigued as well. Against Liverpool, he had an issue with his hip. He's played a lot of minutes, and you could tell. And we don't want to risk it. He needs to go away with England. Now we decided that the best thing to do was to take him off. Yeah, right. Saka is fatigued. Look, he's played so many minutes. I think it's the same thing with players like Gabriel. And look, that's why I think FIFA is a little bit bullshit. Because look, African players played in January. They'll complete the season. They'll go for World Cup, and then they have next year. They have a tournament, African Cup of Nations tournament. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It doesn't put into consideration. It's something Arsene Wenger was saying, that players should be playing we should have a World Cup every 2 years. That's crap. That's absolute crap. Right. So on Saka and Thomas Partey's performances today, here. He said, I think generally the team was really good. We had Thomas when we talk about consistency and the level. I think in 3 games in 6 days, he hasn't had for a while since he's been here. I think he played at his level, at his best level for 3 consecutive games, and that's for the team a big boost. All right. On Nicola Jova's instructions at the end, he said, I think anybody can help with anything on my staff. If anybody can help with anything on my staff, just do it. If he's throwing a bottle of water or cleaning someone's shoes or giving instructions, they are free to do it if they can help the team. All right. On set pieces in big games, he said, well, they're a big part of the game, obviously, especially in the Premier League. And you can see that the Tom team score a lot of goals from set pieces, but then they score another 1 or 2, and nobody talks about it. But they made a difference there. You see, in the Champions League, and see a lot of times what is happening. You have to dominate every part of the game, the football, the scoring. It's quicker, it's more complicated. Everybody is really good, and they have to and they have good knowledge, and they have to find advantages where they can. Right. We talked about Aaron Ramsdale right about here. It's a comment that I would really want to pick up on. Ramsdale. He said about Ramsdale. He said he wasn't comfortable in the last few minutes against Liverpool, and we scanned him, and he had a proper injury in his muscle. He wanted to be here straight away. The moment he realized that he could not play, and Bad was going to play, he wanted to be here to support Ban Leno, which tells you a lot about the things that are happening behind the scenes. The rest on Martinelli, actually, I think there's a huge point here on Gabriel Martinelli. Says hopefully he was gutted not to be able to play today because he traveled to try and be with the team. He really deserves the call-up, so hopefully he can travel tomorrow. So basically, lads, that is the press conference and what Mikel was had managed to talk about. You can read the full press conference on the Arsenal website, and you could also catch it on YouTube on the Arsenal Way, right? And Haters TV. I just gave them free publicity. Dang, I'm good. See you then, lads, tomorrow. Goodbye.